Hi Virgo, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn. I'm going to be doing a general reading for you today. I did a reading yesterday. It was just a little quick reading. I feel called to do a Celtic cross spread today. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. I call upon the divine powers to help clear and protect these cards, for my intention is to use them for good only. I declare that only good shall come from their use, and that all negativity shall be turned away. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising signs. If your messages repeat, then I believe that Spirit really wants you to get the message. If any of your cards come out upside down, it means you're getting extra protection from Spirit. People can show up in your reading. Kings, queens, knights, and pages. They either represent you, someone in your life, or a situation. So I'll pull all 10 cards and then we'll go through them individually. Spirit, what messages does Virgo need to hear for the month of August, please? 10-card Celtic cross spread for Virgo. Here we go. So you have the 10 of Pentacles. This, I gotta just tell you, Virgo, this is the second time I've started this reading. I already started it. I shuffled the cards and I started pulling the cards, and I looked to my side and this card was off to the side. So I put it back in the deck, started shuffling again, and this came out again. So this is, Spirit really wants you to get this message. 10 of Pentacles. Then you have the Hierophant reversed. 5 of Cups reversed. Page of Pentacles reversed. Page of Cups. King of Pentacles reversed. Page of Swords. Wow, a lot of page energy here. The Tower reversed. The Chariot reversed. A lot of major arcana, so this is going to be a really important message. 7 of Wands reversed. I did a mini reading yesterday, and it was about celebrations, community, gatherings. I just felt pulled to do another reading for you today. It wasn't enough. There was other messages Spirit has for you. A lot of people showed up in the reading yesterday. They're either so it's either you or other people. It'll be different for all of you. You can have a look at that reading I did yesterday. But yeah, I just felt that I had to do another reading for you. So that's why I'm doing this one today. So your first card that came out is the 10 of Pentacles. This card represents your current situation. This card is this is you, Virgo, showing up in your reading. The 10 of Pentacles is represented by Virgo. So this card is all about legacy, roots, wealth. It could represent family home, ancestry, a windfall, a business empire, an inheritance. Receiving a lump sum of money. It's a card of contentment. For some of you, it could be marrying into money. It's a card of wealth, tradition, stability, long-term success, satisfaction, solid foundations. It's a card of privilege, affluence, marriage. It's a card of financial security, settling down, representing your current situation. This card can represent a strong, secure foundation, usually based on family ties, whether it's a home or a business. It could also deal with legacies received and given. So you may either receive a legacy or small winnings to invest for the future. You may acquire a home or a business of your own. Maybe you're investing in the community in some way. However this card plays out, it'll be good, prosperous, and beneficial to you and your loved ones. It's a happy card. It indicates a solid and secure life, both in business and with your family. Your work and planning have paid off, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You're emphasizing home and family at this point, now that you have a secure income to support them. Maybe you're planning on buying a new car or that house you've always wanted. Family matters are at the forefront, and you have the leisure to concentrate on personal affairs. This card represents a time of financial security. Again, some of you are marrying into money, or some of you may be receiving an inheritance, or sharing rewards, or again, receiving a lump sum of money. Yeah, buying a home, family money, financial comfort, long-term prosperity, material contentment. Could represent a store, a boutique, a restaurant, a store in a mall. So let's keep going. That's nice for your first card to come through. And then your second card could be what's crossing you, or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating. And you got the Hierophant reversed. This is Taurus energy. Could be having an issue with a Taurus. Doesn't have to mean that. Or you could be celebrating a Taurus. This is a card about challenging the status quo, being rebellious, unconventional, non-conformity. It could represent unconventional lifestyles, unconventional relationships, having a new method, challenging tradition. It could represent reversed roles. This card could represent being stubborn bullheadedness in areas of beliefs. You may be in a rut, unable to see new things or find useful ways to apply your beliefs in the real world. If this resonates, Spirit is saying consider giving up some routines and trying something new. Having a new approach, being subversive. This is a card of subversiveness. You might wish to overthrow an old tradition that you feel is suffocating you, or that simply no longer serves your needs. You can choose to live by whatever philosophy resonates with your true nature. You want to direct your actions your own way, even if it puts you in conflict with some established tradition or one that you were raised to believe. Maybe your faith is being challenged in some way, and you must reevaluate beliefs you've always taken for granted. So I think that's important because this is in your challenge position. So maybe your faith is being challenged in some way, and you must reevaluate beliefs that you've always taken for granted. Okay. Having a new approach, challenging tradition. It can be a card of ignorance. General reading, again, take it how it resonates. Being materialistic, unorthodox, rebellion against the establishment. If you're seeking advice from an accountant or a lawyer, Spirit's saying get a second opinion. Don't rush into any new agreements. They might prove disappointing. And then your foundation card is the Five of Cups reversed. This card represents the basis of your situation or foundation. This card is Scorpio energy. This is a card of stagnation, experiencing a personal setback. It's a card of acceptance, moving on, finding peace, self-forgiveness, seeing the positive, contentment, releasing emotional baggage, letting go of grief, letting go of guilt, regret, sorrow, overcoming despair, moving forward, accepting help, healing, rejoining the world, releasing emotions. You're in a state of indecision. You're refusing to make up your mind about something or to face facts. But just because there have been past losses doesn't mean there can't be future gains. And if you continue in this negative state of mind, you'll only make things worse for yourself. This card could also indicate an out of proportion reaction to loss, real or imaginary, for the sake of melodrama or attention. Okay. This card could represent unhappiness, but Spirit is saying it's a short phase. If you're feeling unhappy at this time, it is a short phase and will end quickly. Be hopeful, but be cautious, is the message with this card. And then, stagnation. And then your past card is the Page of Pentacles reversed. This is either you, someone in your life, or a situation, male or female, in a general reading. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So pages are messengers. The Page of Pentacles reversed could represent an unhealthy lifestyle, procrastination, a lack of commitment, receiving unfavorable news, someone who is immature. It's a card of greediness, laziness, a lack of progress, an underachiever, someone who's lacking common sense. Rebellious again is coming up. Someone who is unfocused, foolish, immature, irresponsible, unfaithfulness it can represent. Page of Pentacles, lack of goals, no groundwork, not following through on something, not taking advantage of opportunities, learning difficulties, frustration. It could represent failing or dropping out. This page can be someone in a position of servitude. I'm just going to write rebellious down, rebellious, because that's coming up again. This page can be someone in a position of servitude or under someone's control. That's why, Spirit was saying about, standing up. This page can be someone who is stingy and a penny pincher, or who never wants to give or do more than they have to. Okay. This could be someone who's lazy, unmotivated, or uninterested in furthering themselves through education or work. It could indicate receiving bad news concerning money matters. It could represent some sort of disappointment, such as failing an exam, not getting into the college of your choice, or not being hired for a job. Spirit is saying more effort and focus are needed. Okay, don't give up. Keep going, keep trying. My younger son is finding it really difficult to get a job at this time. I don't know, he's got a lot going for him, but it's just, I keep telling him, don't give up, keep going, keep taking one step to the gods and they'll take 1,000 towards you. The Page of Pentacles reverse could represent a child or someone who acts childishly. Could have personality issues because of their serious nature. Interacting with others is tough for them. And then your immediate future card, what's likely to happen next, is the Page of Cups. Again, it's either you, someone in your life, or a situation. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. The Page of Cups is someone who has their head in the clouds. You are going to be receiving happy news very soon, okay? The Page of Cups can be volatile, aggressive. It can represent creative opportunities coming up very soon, receiving intuitive messages. It's a card of curiosity, possibility. Page of Cups is someone who's very courageous, hasty, can be unreliable, sensitive, someone going in a new direction, someone becoming emotionally mature. It could represent a new romance or a close friend. The Page of Cups is someone who is kind, imaginative. You may be receiving a happy surprise very soon. Remember, this reading was for August, so I would recommend you make notes on this reading and then go back to them in August, okay? This Page of Cups is either you, or it could represent a young person, male or female. It could be a son, a daughter, a younger sibling, someone who's bringing you a message about love. It might mean an engagement or a wedding, or some situation that holds an inherent emotional risk. The circumstances may be exciting yet scary at the same time, like a sudden elopement. This page can suggest naivete or vulnerability, especially in matters of the heart. And if this is you, Spirit is saying you have already decided to take an emotional risk. You're willing to give it your all because you feel things will work out. Youthfulness. This card is telling you to check in with your inner voice. Naive. It could represent a crush, an admirer. It could represent marriage again is coming up, engagement, pregnancies, births, romantic proposals, someone who is honorable, a daydreamer, sensitive, sympathetic. Okay. Yeah, Page of Cups represents a child's imaginative, emotional, and poetic character. This Page of Cups is someone who's easily hurt, very sensitive and sympathetic. This card is encouraging you to develop your creative side rather than being lazy or daydreaming. It's a call to action to make your dreams a reality right now. Okay. Again, pages are messengers, so you may be receiving a message about a loved one or a creative project. Maybe you might be receiving a love note. Okay. The page is about challenging yourself, developing your inner resources, and taking something to a greater stage of accomplishment. You may experience some hesitancy or feel that you are not fully prepared for the task, but you still hope the situation will turn out as you anticipate. Okay? For example, a freshman in college is a great example of a page with the energy of just starting out on a new academic and social journey with many challenges ahead. It's the page's job to serve in order to advance. The page represents preparing yourself to succeed at something. It involves being willing to assume a subordinate role, as younger people often do, and to learn about commitment. Okay, and then the outcome that you desire most in your situation is the King of Pentacles reversed. So again, this is either you, someone in your life, or a situation, male or female, in a general reading, Taurus energy. The King of Pentacles is someone who makes poor financial decisions. He represents greed, indulgence, sensuality, materialistic. He can be corrupt, a gambler, someone who's stubborn, someone who's obsessed with wealth, financially inept, exploitative, someone who's losing their grip on things, an ungrounded male, an unsuccessful businessman, corruption, extortion, instability, poor judgment, uncaring, cold, ruthless, unfaithful, unsupportive, greedy, broke, underqualified, bankruptcy. This king can be stingy to the point of cheating someone. He can be erratic, demanding, and callous. He may resist change and make it difficult for those around him to try new things. He could represent danger or an unwise business move. This card could be a warning to be aware of the small print in any contracts being negotiated. He could also indicate unfair competition, shady business practices, or an untrustworthy man. It's usually male or female in a general reading, but I'm getting a strong male energy with this message. King of Pentacles reversed is an unethical businessman, someone who can be thrifty and overly possessive. And then your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the Page of Swords, male or female. So the Page of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. The Page of Swords is someone who's communicative, inspired, vigilant, alert, has a sharp mind, has mental agility. This card is letting you know that the news that you're waiting for may be delayed. You need to have patience. Keep planning, being protective, being guarded. Page of Swords can represent having a new idea, new ideas, a thirst for knowledge, finding new ways of communicating. It's a card of education again, speaking out, using your head, being truthful and direct. Again, we're talking about a clash with authority, which they've already mentioned in the reading. Being rebellious, curious, witty, chatty, inquisitive. The Page of Swords is reminding you to think before you speak. Don't get drawn into arguments. Use your head. There's a lot of restless energy with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords might be bringing you some news of problems and difficulties relating to a younger person you know. Again, I'm just going to make a note of this because I think this is really important. I think this, I want to make a note for myself, but yeah, you or someone you know may have failed a college exam or be in trouble with the law. There's an element of experimentation indicated here, so either you or someone else is taking a risk or behaving in a risky manner that could cause some problems. The Page of Swords is someone who's motivated by unconventional activity. Overconfidence or the ignorance of youth might also get this person into trouble. This page is very curious, wants to know everything. She can be, or he can be, infuriating and annoying, but they can also open up your thinking. With all their questions, they're perfect for problem solving and out-of-the-box thinking. The Page of Swords can be an overachiever or a slacker if they're not properly challenged. Their mind is brilliant and sharp, but they do lack intellectual discipline. And again, you may be receiving a message about a problem or a solution, or you might hear some gossip, okay? Page of Swords is someone who's bright, athletic, usually a younger person, witty, intelligent. Their actions may be hasty, but they're intellectually curious, and they're fast to pick up new information. They have the potential to be introverted. This could be a child who appreciates sports and active games. This card is also telling you to polish your abilities and skills so that you can advance in life, which Spirit already mentioned. So I would make a note of that. I think that's a good message. And then your environment card, or how others see you in your situation. You have the Tower, Scorpio energy. It came out reversed, so extra protection from Spirit. So this card represents your environment or how others see you in your situation. So this card could be delaying a disaster, or a disaster was avoided, or there may be a fear of suffering, or you're averting disaster. It could represent a close call, or you're delaying the inevitable. There may be a fear of change or resisting change, avoiding tragedy, avoiding some kind of loss. Maybe you're going through a personal transformation. There was some kind of shakeup that happened internally, okay? Something happened inside you that created an epiphany. You're refusing to change old habit patterns, and you'll suffer continued disruption in the form of unforeseen difficulties until you finally make some changes in your life. Maybe you're confused about just who and what you are. At a deep level, you're being prepared for the changes that must eventually take place, but you're resisting what your inner self knows already. Once you alter fixed beliefs and limited ideas, you will enjoy a new sense of freedom. Remember, Spirit talked about freedom already, brought up freedom already. So I would, that's definitely, Spirit is saying, once you alter fixed beliefs and limited ideas, you'll enjoy a new sense of freedom, having new ideas, new approaches. Remember that Spirit already talked about that. So yeah, something more disruptive and chaotic. So there may be a need to accept upcoming changes. For some of you, this card could represent not being able to withstand pressure. It could feel like having a nervous breakdown. If this resonates, Spirit is saying that you're being advised to take less on board. But the process of change has already begun, and not going with the flow will result in stagnation, which Spirit already brought up. Stagnation. Okay, so definitely make a note of that. Not going with the flow will result in stagnation and more problems. And if you're repressing feelings of grief, which they've talked about letting go, right, already. If you're repressing feelings of grief, rage, or disappointment, you need to let them go, okay? And your life will soon improve. And then your hopes and fears, what you hope for and or fear the most in your situation, you have the Chariot. Another major arcana, and it came out reversed, so extra protection from Spirit again. This card is represented by Cancer in astrology. So this card is all about aggression, a lack of control, a lack of direction. Self-discipline is needed. It's a card of opposition, a lack of self-control, being blocked by obstacles. It's a card it represents being forceful, no direction, no control, feeling powerless. The changes and transitions are happening internally, which they've already talked about. Something happens inside you that creates the epiphany. Spirit has already talked about that. So make a note of that. The changes and transitions that are happening are internally. Things are changing very fast, okay? You may feel out of control and struggle to keep your head above water. Maybe you feel like you're being pulled in two directions at once and you're stressed out by the pressure. If this resonates, Spirit is saying choose a direction carefully and accept the process of inner transition as a positive one. But be clear about your direction in life. The more you can tune into your own transition process, the more control over it you can exert. This card could be warning you against two possible things. First, beware of others taking control of you. And second, there's a danger of you running over everyone in your path in your haste to reach your goal. If this resonates, it might be wise to slow down and see what lies ahead before you go barreling down the road. I guess that's why they brought up the aggression message, okay? A lack of discipline, a situation that is out of control. This card could represent addiction, envy, someone who's afraid to use their abilities. It's a card of arrogance or a lack of self-confidence. This card talks about burying your head in the sand or having your head in the clouds, which Spirit already talked about. It could represent a warning against overwhelming ambition, burnout, or maybe you're wasting resources. And then your future, if all is to remain as is the Seven of Wands reversed. So this is Leo energy. This is a card of fear, exhaustion, anxiety, embarrassment, being burnt out again, exhausted again. When I say again, it just means Spirit's repeating the message. Admitting defeat, giving up, having no confidence, feeling overwhelmed. Spirit is saying you need to surrender. There's a lack of self-belief. Failing to defend, failing to protect, compromising, losing control, losing power, losing respect, losing authority. There's a lack of stamina, a lack of self-belief, a lack of courage, being timid. It's a card of weakness, surrendering, quitting, giving in, giving up, folding on your beliefs. This card is telling you that it's time to retreat and wait for an opportune moment, or it could represent opportunities that have been thrown away due to fear. Spirit might be asking you to consider what exactly it is that you're defending. There is the possibility that you are wrong and should lower your defenses. Okay, this is a card of fear, a time of confusion. You don't know whether to hold on or back off, but now's the time for firmness and decision. Even if you're not sure which way to go, it's one of those situations where any decision is better than none at all. So that is your reading, Virgo, for the month of August. I hope you received some guidance, some insight from those messages. Thank you for allowing me to channel these messages today. I'm sending you lots of love and a big hug, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.